Hello everybody, welcome back to PadfootTD Games. My name is Zach, I'm the voice behind the icon. Today we are going to be going from Manchester, New Hampshire down to Nashville, Tennessee. It's the closest that we can get to Bristol Motor Speedway, where we have a time trial and our K&N Series car, our K&N Pro Series car. We are currently still in the lead for points in the time trial division, and we're hoping to keep it that way so we can get the truck there, get it unloaded, get it on the track, and run a great time today. So, yeah, let's hop in and let's head on our way. Of course, we got Ella right beside us, and sitting by my feet on the floor is, of course, actually Ella. She loves it when I come in and actually play. Gives her a chance just to relax and lay next to me on the floor. Service dogs don't usually get that much of a break. I hope everybody's having a good morning. It is Friday here, for those of you who may be in YouTube land when you see this. It's a beautiful Friday. It's a great Friday because it's technically the last Friday before finals for at least the school that I work at. So we're very, very excited about that. Trailer damage, we didn't even touch anything. You can watch the replay. Watch in that mirror, we didn't touch it. We got close, but we definitely did not touch it. So, phooey on you, game. It is currently 4 a.m. here in Manchester, New Hampshire, as we head out for Nashville. We're looking at quite a long trip today. Pop this in really quick. It says 28 hours. It's not exactly that long. The delivery thinks that we are going to Little Rock. The only reason for that is because in the mod system that I have for modding my own routes, once in a while it will not configure to the location that you're hoping for, so you have to kind of configure it to a different one and just role play going to an earlier destination. I'll show you that in the map what I mean. Okay, so we're leaving from Manchester, heading down the East Coast. When I went to Nashville, it had no idea how to route us there, so I had to make it go to Little Rock, but we are just going to take our delivery to Nashville, drop it off, and be happy. Like I said, early morning. Hope everybody's doing great. I'm doing okay myself. Ish. I say ish because, yes, the end of the year's coming. We have the final dance show at the theater this evening. So, you know, there's always stress that comes along with that. But also, the biggest thing is that the missus has gone down for her best friend's graduation in Connecticut, which is only for 2 days. So, you know, yes, I can live without my wife for 2 days, but it's hard when you spend every day with somebody, you know, even with our intense work schedules recently. It kind of sucks watching them drive away knowing, well, I'll see you in 3 days. You know what I mean? Because you always travel together. So, a little bit of a bummer. Feeling a little down about that. But, hey, what's a better pick-me-up than hopping into Truck Sim and bringing a hauler somewhere? In case you didn't get to see the outside yet, let's get a good view of this. That's the custom hauler we are taking down with our custom truck, sponsored by Subway. It's got our Ford Fusion on board. It's actually got two. With the amount of victories that we've had in this time trial series, even though the payout would be low for it being a time trial, we would be able to afford two cars. And believe me, I have needed them. I have done time trials where I have skidded into the wall. You know, you're like, oh, I can get a little extra speed, and that wall comes up and bites you pretty quick. Oh, great. We're going to be stuck on a hill. Go, maybe. Have some balls, maybe. Go. Ugh. This kind of load does not like to sit on hills. It's kind of heavy. Oh, God. Now we got to crank on the gas to get it up that hill. And there's no traffic coming. Oh, love traffic in American Truck Sim. And of course, we have a much more powerful truck than they do because ours is obviously all decked out. We're just going to go flying by. Have a good day, man. Have a good trip. All right. let's pop over into this lane. Still sorry about the camera that'll jerk back and forth. I don't have a track IR, so I have to do everything manually. On my Thrustmaster wheel, Ella just hit the microphone. Shocker. On the Thrustmaster wheel, I'm actually using the shifter pedals to be able to look left and right. That's why you can hear a click, rumble strip, and then a button just to reset the camera. I know it's a little jerky, but yet again, track IR, I've not even looked into it to figure out how it even works. So it's a little bit out of the question for now. Pac-Man swinging away there. Let me know how bad I'm driving. Thank you, Pac-Man. Sun's starting to come up. Just the visuals in this game are just so good. You know, I know a lot of people are like, well, it's not that well rendered. It's not the well this. You know what? Coming from what I grew up with trucking games, this is perfect. Switch on that cruise. So my estimations are we're going to have to stop once before we're at our destination. We drove to Charlotte yesterday and was able to make it in one sweep, but we were cutting it pretty close. I don't think we're going to be able to make it this time. So I'm not sure where we'll stop yet, but we'll keep an eye on that as we travel down the road. I have had somebody ask me why I travel exactly speed limit and not go like maybe a couple over. You usually wouldn't be stopped for that. It's because I find that it's very easy to start that and be like, yeah, I can go 67. Oh, you know what? Maybe I'll just go 70. You know, technically, with the load that I'm carrying, I don't know if I'd really want to be going 65. It's quite heavy back there. It's quite valuable back there. So, you know, I plan just to keep it at the speed limit. And we'll get there when we get there. There's a couple times, like when we get down, when we're crossing the country and we head near Texas, that I probably will go at a higher speed. Like the highway speed, I think, through Texas, that small bit that I've done before, is like 80. So, yeah, no. Hope everybody's got some good plans for the weekend. I know a handful of people that I've been talking to have been studying for finals. I know my students are studying for finals. Myself, I'm just getting ready for finals. I only have one final that I have to give, and it's more performance piece than anything else. So, luckily, no paperwork, just watch what they've accomplished. But on Monday, it's our last real class day. Tuesday, we go into reading day. Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday are our finals. The rest of the students, which is 9th through 11th graders, will depart Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, depending on when their finals are. And our seniors will actually stick around because their prom is actually with nobody else on campus except seniors and possibly their dates. There's a couple seniors who have dates with juniors. Or below, you know, whatever. But, so they're the only ones on campus. That's on Friday evening. Saturday is an award ceremony for them, as well as, this is a week from tomorrow, by the way, as well as a class day trip to Six Flags, because we're only about an hour away from Six Flags New England. So they get to enjoy one last thing, and then Sunday is graduation. Then, of course, for faculty, Monday we have off because of it being a holiday. Start slowing down for this well-known Providence 55 right here. I'm just going to coast through. I'm no use putting on the brakes on this big thing. But, yeah, after having that day off for the holiday, we have a week of meetings of just wrapping up the year, getting, you know, the foundation set for what we can expect next year. And then we're free. We're free for the summer. We're free all the way until about August 28th. At least that's what it was last year. I assume it's going to be around that time again this year. Let's get back up to speed now. Cows. Hello, moos. But yeah, I still love what I do. I'm also finding that I'm loving what I'm doing right now, too. I love coming out and streaming, talking to you all. I love posting things on YouTube, even though I find it a bit stressful as I try to figure out time frames for everything. like I said, I'm doing this as a hobby. For those of you who may be just joining, and I hate to keep pestering like this, but I want people to be able to see her. There is an Instagram, PadfootTD Games, where you'll be delighted by a puppy every morning. A German Shepherd puppy named Ella. She is my service dog who's by my side. She travels everywhere with me, and while traveling everywhere, she gets herself into some interesting predicaments. She's been in gondolas, not on chairlifts, but on gondolas, stuff like that. Been on weird vehicles to get from point A to point B where you wouldn't usually see a dog, or places you wouldn't usually see a dog. So it's been interesting. And if you have interest, you have an Instagram, feel free to follow. As well, if you're watching this on Twitch, you can always check out PadfootTD Games on YouTube. That's where we put all of our archives after a little bit of editing. They are on Twitch as well. They're just unedited. Once in a while, it's nice just to cut to the chase. All right, it looks like it's about 6:22 a.m. Sun's coming up nice. I usually keep the lights on until about 7 or 8, just to make sure the sun's 100% up. I want to make sure we're seeing with this big piece. And of course, now we have the dogs barking, so I'm going to cut audio really quick and see what they're barking at. And back. Probably the man. There's one bark, so. Oh, the joys of going live and having an office that you need to have the door open. I could close it, but then all they'll do is scratch at the door. They don't always want to sit in here, the rest of the dogs. But they always want to know where I am. They think this must be a magical portal where I will disappear. Cruising at a pretty good speed right now. For those of you who may have watched the other videos, sorry, the scenery all kind of looks the same. We have taken the same road, just due to the nature of where we're going. Like 95, that's the lifeline of the East Coast. And that, oddly enough, will connect almost everything that we do for Truck Sim, unless we head out west or Midwest. Like this week for our 3 hauler videos, we are going down this road, just different destinations. We stopped at Charlotte, North Carolina the other day. Today we are obviously going to Nashville, which is closest we can get to Bristol Motor Speedway. And then as well, today we'll be streaming, and the video will be a separate day on YouTube. We will be taking our SK Modified Series hauler and our big boy Kenworth, which I love, down to southern Florida. I'm not exactly sure where yet. I think Five Fly Speedway is near Pensacola, maybe. I've got to research that before we hit the road, obviously. So the drives are going to somewhat look the same. Hopefully the commentary will be different. Something interesting happened yesterday. For those of you who may have watched 1 or 2 of the streams or 1 or 2 of the excuse me, videos on YouTube, once in a while I play LSPDFR, which I love to play. But for about 2 years now, I have been watching Jeff Fabiano, Bay Area Bugs, and Polecat. I can't remember the numbers, it's after his name, but Polecat play DOJ. And I know recently there's been fluffle, flub, and yada yada yada. And Jeff started his own piece, and a lot of people have moved from DOJ over to OCRP, which is, yet again, just roleplay servers for, acting as civilians, acting as cops, yada yada, in the world of GTA 5. So I actually took a big step yesterday. I've been debating it for a long time about joining one of these committees. Now, not committees, communities. Here's the problem that I have. I don't have a lot of time. I film most of my videos in one day. And then throughout the week, I'll do some random ones here and there. Thank you, Ella, for your input. You're a stinky dog. So I don't have a lot of free time. But with the summer coming up, I have 3 months of pretty much pure free time. So, tire shreds over there on the right side. It's a little bit of detail. Great. We're heading into New York, too. But I actually put in my application for the DOJ community. Now, I did not put in for civilian because civilian's not open, and I did not put in for a police officer position. The reason for that, as much as action as they do get on the server, being cops and whatnot, with my disability of partially being deaf, I don't know if I'd always be able to hear dispatch, or if somebody's got an accent or they're trying to have an accent just for roleplay purposes, I don't know if I'm going to hear it. And that's not fair to myself, but that's definitely not fair to anybody who happens to be in the community that this affects. And, you know, you can say with a disability, you can do whatever anybody else can do, but that's just sometimes not true. So, instead of that, I have decided to put in my application for the fire department. Reason for that, it's a lot less calls, a lot more mainstream of what you have to do. But they also have a program out there, and I was talking to them a little bit about it in my application, of, what am I looking for here? They have a forestry division. People making sure that, you know, there's no illegal campfires and, you know, making sure that the forest stays fine. I actually pitched to them, and I know I've seen videos about it, wildlife control and fish and game. Not even paying attention, kind of got to slam on the brakes, air brake. Ugh. That's 100% my fault. So sorry, guys. So sorry for cutting across that traffic. Hopefully I didn't cut anybody off. Ugh. That's my mistake. We could have just overshot it and gotten off, but some of these stretches of highway are just so long. That is my mistake. Let's get over here into this middle lane. And now we're on the 78 west. Oh my god. 78 west. I was too busy trying to read the names of the cities. Okay. So, as I was saying, I put in my application, and I was talking to them about possibly a fish and game, because we have a lot of fish and game up here in New Hampshire and Massachusetts, as well as, you know, I feel like that'd be fit for me. I love the outdoors. I love the way that the Grand Theft Auto looks outdoors. Not a lot of action that'll probably become. There'll probably be episodes here and there if I am able to get in. But that's where I'd rather be than a firefighter or a medic. I do have some EMT training, book-wise. A lot of book-wise, a lot of practical stuff, just not in the field because of my hearing. My hearing did come along very quickly for a disability, which is a story for another day, which might be in this drive. But I finally bit the bullet and put in for it. Now, whether I'll get in or not, that's way up there. I know that they must get thousands and thousands of these applications, you know. So if I don't get in, that's fine, you know. But I figured I finally could get the courage up to do it. I think I finally have the time to do it. So, you know, I can't lose anything. I just have so many extra things in the game that I hope, you know, it won't interfere. I don't know exactly how it works. I know it's private servers, and you have to have a legal copy of GTA 5 on your computer and a microphone, which I do have. So, I don't know. Fingers are crossed, though. Give me something more to do and to interact with the community. You know, I love a lot of these simulators, but a lot of them are playing solo. Hello, New Jersey. And the problem with that is you get bored sometimes, you know, especially if there's nobody to talk to in the chat. But I will not do American Truck Sim online. I've seen enough videos to know not to do that. As well as, I know there's some private things here and there. It's not worth it. You know, American Truck Sim is going to stay in single player. Your job, to get a load. You see other people on the road, that'd be cool, but there's too many trolls out there that like to ruin everybody else's fun. Oh, Mr. Pac-Man. Bobbing up there. Oh, I was like, why are we getting past so fast? It's because the speed limit went up to 70. Let's crank up that speed a little bit. Whoops. There we go. Should we make a 69 joke? Come on, SUV. Come on. Don't just sit there. Thank you. It's Cadillac. Just because you have all the time in the world does not mean that we do. We're making a pretty good dent in our time. You know, still says we have 21 hours left. It's going to be a long one. That much I'm certain. We got a caution triangle. What's going on up here? Oh, shit. I wish we just had a little bit more warning. One car incident. If somebody had pulled in front of us, we would have completely been totaled. I slammed on the brakes. Tools are probably now all over the trailer. Just a little bit more warning for something like that. You know, this doesn't stop on a dime. And plus, you slam too hard, there's plenty of moving parts within here. You have 2 race cars and a crap load of tools. I was looking on the radar today. I don't have to buy any tracks because I pretty much have all the ones that we run on now except some of the big circuit names, which means I might be able to get a new game for streaming, actually just to play because I really wanted to play it since I've seen it was going to come out. House Flipper. Now I know it does not look overly entertaining to watch, but it looks like a lot of fun to play. So I am going to play it. I am probably going to stream it, like I said I would. And I'm probably just going to post it on YouTube. Because why? Because there could be somebody out there who's on the fence about getting it, and that video might change their mind. It might change it in a good way, might change it in a bad way. So that's why I'm doing this. If people got interest, you know, when I was trying to first get into these sort of things, again, I was watching Jeff Favignano. It looked really fun. And then I happened to see somebody who had a NASCAR skin. Somebody had done the same thing as I had done, except had somebody do it for them with a custom skin. I was like, oh, I want to do that. Little did I know it would take 2 years after having the game to finally take the time to figure it out and be determined to do it. Now, we have custom skins. Everything looks awesome. At least in my opinion, it does. It matches what I want. Rumble strip. Sorry about that. Just trying to move Ella over a little bit. She keeps sneaking underneath my chair where the pedals are. For anybody who's in New England, I know that Saturday and Sunday are supposed to be rainy. Let's flip off that cruise control. So, yet again, bummer on that. I'm hoping to get maybe some lawn work done today. If the rain holds off, it looks like it's beautiful right now. Once we get some videos done, we will hop out there and mow. I will bring you guys along with that, I promise. Speaking about bringing you all along, I had talked about the Instagram account, and I don't want to plaster about that. It's really just for people who might be bored, might be looking for somebody to follow. But I am going to put out a little blurb for the missus. She does have a post out as well. Not a post, an account out as well. And it's called Zero Kids and Counting. She wants to do some review on stuff as we get ready for having a baby, as well as showcasing our 3 dogs. She posted something last night and got like 10 likes and 10 random followers. Now that's amazing for somebody who just made their account last night. What had happened is we have a monthly subscription to a company called BarkBox. For those of you who don't know what that is, monthly we get a box delivered to our house that is filled with 2 dog toys, 2 sets of treats, and 1 long-term treat. Long-term treat just means something that takes a little bit longer for them to eat through. We get this box every month, and the dogs know it exactly. Every time we get a box, they're like, oh, is that my Bark box? It's got toys and treats and all the fun stuff in it. And they will literally lose their mind when this box comes in. Or any box, for that matter, because they just think it is. It's a big letdown when you open it up and it's like pants. But, excuse me. But yeah, she had a video of one that came in 2 days ago of Beast, our white German Shepherd boy. It's more tire shreds. Hopefully we don't lose tires today. It's been like an omen. I've seen 2, and that's the most that I've seen in one trip. So we got a long one ahead of us. Fingers crossed. That would be a really neat thing to be in the game, right? Tire blowout. Scary, but realistic. So back to what I was saying, though. She had a video of... Thanks for hitting the microphone, Ella. Sorry about that wiggle. Just trying to make sure she didn't push it too far away. Heading into West Virginia. Speed's going to drop back down to 65. Let's just adjust for that. That's at 64. And back at 70? I don't even know what's going on with this patch of the road. The road probably doesn't even know what's going on. Let's see, and 70's right there. Nope. Probably just going to change as we cross into Virginia now. I know my tires are touching. They're almost drip. I get it. More focus on watching my speed at this point. No blinker because my hand is on the button box. That's my mistake. I'm hoping to reconfigure my desk here eventually to have the soundboard up on it, have my computer away. Problem is my computer has a see-through side, and it's blue inside, which is very aesthetically pleasing to look at. If I put it where I have to, just away, I will no longer be able to see the blue. And I paid like $20 to make sure I had the plexi side, then the solid side. So I don't really want to. I might, as being a carpenter by trade, I might just make customizations to this desk and have a nice new spot for it to be. But yes, back to the video. So the video that she posted was we had got one of these boxes, and she just put it on the floor to see what Beast would do with it. He's stomping on it. He's like trying to get in it. He's chewing on it. He's like throwing it around. It's a great little video. But if you want to see dorky dogs or possibly eventually baby products, it's Zero Kids and Counting on Instagram. A little blurb for the missus. She doesn't usually watch my videos, so shh, don't tell anybody. Don't tell her. Somebody bobtailing right there. Peterbilt? Is that where my money's at? Yep. Nice. It's interesting. When I first started playing Truck Sim, I was a Peterbilt guy. Strutting around in them. I love the flat top that they have. Instead of the day cab, it's the sleeper cab, but it's got the flat top. Loved it. But when I was aesthetically looking at what I wanted to do when I started pulling these haulers around, even before I had custom skins on them, I was looking and saying, okay, whoops, what do they usually use? Well, they usually use Freightliner, and Kenworth's a big name as well. But you always usually have something that's got a fin on top. Or, you know, a hood, like this one does. Something that goes up to the top of the trailer for aerodynamics. And you obviously do this because Ella just hit the microphone again. Stop hitting that, kiddo. You're literally just laying down and napping. You don't have to keep moving. But You usually do this obviously for aerodynamics. With this thing being so big and pushing through, you don't want a flat top and then everything hit that generator that's at the front of the trailer. So when I was looking at what had the best super cab, Kenworth looked like it, and I really liked the Kenworth 680, which we're driving right now, especially this one. This is the first one that I got when we started this endeavor with this account. Like I said, it's got 21,222 miles on it, and we've done 10 races. It's actually been less than that. It's from the trips out to California and back. Sorry, I just had to move the microphone a little bit closer. Up. This cop in front of me is going to pull me over for drinking and driving. I haven't even had anything to drink this morning. Water-wise. I also haven't had any breakfast, so this is going to feel like a much longer run than normal. Of course, the way that I have my stuff set up, and I might change it today because I got a new microphone to try out, I might move things because it's... Don't brake check me. I saw that. There was no reason for you to tap your brakes, and you just did. It's a big semi. I'm going to win. I will crush you and kill your family. Not exactly what's on my agenda today. But I might change my setup a little bit. It's all perfect that Ella wants to be next to me, and that makes 100% sense. She's trained to do that, and I want her always next to me. But of course, in a recording gaming setup, where that's my main audio cable that goes through, that's where the microphone is, does not always work too well. But hey, we'll make it happen. For a hobby, this is fine. Right now, as far as I know, we're just cruising through Virginia. Not many road signs to tell me any otherwise. That's the last state sign that I remember seeing. We could have passed another one. Wouldn't even know. Kind of happens with these long hauls. Be like, if we're not at our destination, I don't care where we are. How are we doing on sleep? Really? Already? I swear, the sleep is so weird in this game. Granted, we're coming up on almost 12 hours of driving. We left this morning at like 4:30, 4:20 a.m. I can't really remember which one. It is now almost 1:30 in the afternoon. So I get it. It's already been a long day, etc. You know, not having our mandatory breaks and everything. And of course, traffic not being the same, yada, yada, yada. But we'll find a spot soon-ish to pull over. Probably the next truck stop that comes available. Actually, the more I think about it, I don't know if there is another one. Tell you what, we're going to pop into the map really quick. So I'll be right back. All right, we're back. So I just had a peek into the map. There's actually quite a long distance until we get to the next truck stop that's available. We have still 4 hours before we need to sleep. I think that's going to be enough to get us there. At least I hope so, before we start dozing out. You can hear our white German Shepherd, our male beast, walking around now. He has a tendency to want to wander around and investigate. It's his thing. He's walking into the office right now. And of course, he doesn't walk quietly like a husky, you know, who like tiptoes. He stomps around. It's quite funny. We think it's because he's a little short. He's a little short for the size that he is. So we always say that it's him being upset and stomping around, making his presence known. It's a compensation thing. But we love him. We love all of our fur children, I should say, our four-legged children. Pretty good amount of traffic today, which is good, especially you see trucks going through. That's what's keeping our country going. Trucks stop moving. Stores don't have food. You know, and that's interesting. There's a massive trucking shortage, and the big reason is two. From what I've learned from talking to people and seeing things, is one, the danger of it. You know, that's on the lower side. You know, it is what it is, what it comes with it. But the bigger thing is the pay. The money's not there anymore, and you know, nobody's looking to get rich. But I watched somebody who worked for 11 months. Now, this was a documentary, so take it as you will, and, you know, things could be doctored, etc., to make the documentary more pleasing to the eye. Okay? But I was watching this documentary, and if it was all factual, for about 11 months, the company paid for gas, obviously, of the truck. It was a company truck. He had to pay any fines that he had accumulated. After all that, he only brought $16,000 home. You know, so I don't know how factual that is, but I know that I know truckers don't get paid a lot. And that's one of the biggest reasons for a shortage. You have these giant companies who have come in and bought up the market because, you know, they provide this and that. And then you have a lot of unexperienced drivers out on the road, which are making things more difficult, more unsafe, harder for truckers who want to own their own truck, if you want to be independent. So they'll sell their truck and find another job to do. You know, so I know that there's a shortage, and I know that's why certain costs are going up, you know, because it costs more to get something somewhere. You know, you have less truck drivers. It becomes a priority. Excuse me. You know, and also it's, you know, being away from home. Technology has come a long way. Do not get me wrong, but the distance from home constantly is gotta be strain on a marriage, a family, etc., depending on, especially if you're a long hauler, you know, not being able to see your kids grow up, that's hard. I had a really good friend growing up. His name was Matt. His dad drove for, I can't remember the company name. The trucks were purplish violet color. Regardless, his dad drove big rig, and it had caused their parents to be separated, but he would come and crash at their house when he had off days. He was a long hauler. When Matt was like 12 or 13, I can't really pinpoint his age, they got the phone call that his dad died in his sleeper, in his sleep. He had a heart attack. Had a heart attack. His body didn't wake up from it, and he died. There was nobody able to check on him because, you know, it was a day or so later. The company hadn't heard, so they had contacted where the truck stop was, looking through his e-log, etc. And they found him dead. You know, and that kind of connect to a lot of things. He was a smoker, etc. But, you know, dining options are not the best on the road. After a long day of driving, the last thing you want to do is eat a burrito in your truck. You want to go in for a home-cooked meal, which is usually something fast, which is usually something not good for you. So I feel for you, Matt. I know you'll probably never see this, and I probably won't see you again, but still sorry for your loss, man. I don't know why. I'm just feeling like I need to be over in the right lane right now, which is changing from what we've been doing originally. I think it's because I know that we need to stop for truck stop soon. Whoop. Come on, me. Focus. It's funny. It'll happen every once in a while to, like, everybody in the car. You'll just get so dazed in a thought, and you'll just, all of a sudden those rumble strips bring you back, and you're like, oh, yeah, I forgot, you know, driving. Just get put on such autopilot. For those of you who can hear, that was Beast in the background, telling me his displeasure with my bad taste in jokes. Like I said, though, down the road is our next stop. We have 2 hours really to get there before we start getting that, you know, dozy icon. Can't remember if it's right after this on-ramp or not. But it's a long trip. From Manchester down to Nashville. And of course, we're trying to keep exactly the speed limit because something this size does not like to go fast. Strike that. It likes to go fast. It doesn't like to stop. I know coming up soon is the Indy 500, and the yawns have begun. I know the Indy 500 is coming up for anybody who might follow Indy racing or, you know, big spectacle that is the Indy 500. I do not follow the Indy series. It's just not my thing. It used to be when I was younger. I love the sound of the cars, so I would get my parents to try to take me to one just so I could hear them. But as a sport as a whole, not the biggest fan. Like I said, more of a NASCAR kind of person. Hence why we're driving this truck to where we're going, down to Nashville, which is for Bristol Motor Speedway, for our time trial today. I've had some people ask me about the service dog, and I've explained why I have her before, but I'll explain it again for anybody who might be new. I am partially deaf. I was born with slight hearing loss. It was slight. As I got a little bit older, it became a little bit more severe. It was in the high frequency range, but it was fine. It was manageable. We had no real worries about it. Well, in 2013, I had woken up one morning. There's the yawns again. Hey, this is an important story. Don't be yawning at it. But in 2013, I'd woken up as same as any morning, but I had this like weird pain in my head. It was a discomfort. I went to my mom and tried telling her what was going on. You know, I was in college at that point. It's just like, something's not right. Something doesn't feel right. And when she was trying to talk back to me, I couldn't hear her. I heard, like, you know, the peanuts. Wah, 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 wah. You know, I was just hearing the vibrations. I thought, since I was saying I couldn't hear, she was playing a joke. Now, none of you know my mom, except maybe my wife, who might be watching this. But she doesn't play jokes. You know, she's not overly of a strict, serious person, but, you know, it's not something first on her agenda. Well, we ended up going to the hospital, going to see the doctor, saying, hey, I can't hear anything. They flushed out my ears, and they couldn't really figure out what they were flushing out. It was gunk. You know, it was obviously earwax. They washed them out, and we did a lot of tests. Something had happened overnight, and we still don't know what it is, that had just taken my slight hearing loss and turned it severe. And just, it got worse from there. I'll go into more detail once we pull in here. I just want to focus on getting gas and not taking out the pump. Let's flip off the engine. Pop out. Oh, good parking job. Just a little drunk. I was parked so far away from these, it's not even funny. Let's get some fuel. Hey, another hauler going around the background. Bye. Yeah, I know. I got it. I parked like an ass and you want to come flying through here for no reason. Yeah, thank you. Pop that cover back on. I'm back in the cab. Click in that seatbelt. And actually, before we start it up, I'm seeing if it's going to let me park over there. All right, keys in. Once. Yes, I got it. Well, you know what? We're going to end this episode here. It's not that much further to Nashville, but I don't want to be making these episodes too long. So you'll be able to check in with the next one as we finish our trip down to Nashville, Tennessee. That one's going to be a short one, so we'll have another video out with that day. But thank you guys so much for hanging out. Thank you so much for watching this video. Feel free to give a thumbs up, thumbs down. Let me know what you think maybe down in the comments. If you like what you see, you can always give a follow on Twitch if you happen to want to see more of that. As well, you might want to check out PadfootTD Games, where all the archives are. If you're on YouTube, a subscribe always helps because it lets me know that you're watching. So thank you guys so much for watching this video, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye.